Hi, I'm Heather from booktubes, and today is finishing my entire pre-2025 TBR. So when the year started, I had 61 books on my TBR in this journal spread, and I am down to the final 4. So that is what I'm going to be reading in this vlog. We have Trial of the Sun Queen, which is a romantasy by a BIPOC author, which makes me more interested in it. I also read this author's contemporary book and really enjoyed it. This is a girl is in prison and she is somehow going to get extracted from prison and put in the trials for the Sun Queen, which the Sun Queen I believe is for a completely different country, so I'm not exactly sure how that happens, but this is a completed romantasy series. This book is not too long. Robin at Paperbacks and Planners really loves it, and so it's just continued to be on my TBR. I did do this book in a try a chapter challenge earlier this year and was definitely interested in it. Then I have They Called Us Enemy by George Takei, and this is his autobiographical account of being a child in the Japanese internment camps here on US soil during World War II. Then I have Dizzy, which is Steelbone Motorcycle Club's 0.6 is a prequel by Kate C. Wells. This is the only Steelbones Motorcycle Club book I have not read yet. The couple in this are really prominent side characters in the rest of the series, so I'm really interested to see their love story. And then lastly, I have Nina the Starry Bride, volume 10, and this is a fantasy romance manga series that I'm really into. Last year in June, July, and August, or maybe just June and July, I read the first 9 volumes and then I haven't picked up any since then. Part of that is because I was not allowing myself to read it until I read all of the physical volumes of manga that Izzy had sent me, and then once I was done with that, I was a little burnt out, I was a little slumpy. I have been intending to read it all year long, and somehow instead of that happening, it is one of my final pre-2025 books standing. So it works out that is another round of 30 and 30 right now, which of course is hosted by Izzy at Happy For Now, Ashley at Realm of Kidlit and Comics, and created and hosted by Shay at Shay Geeks Out. This is a reading more manga than you usually do manga challenge. The goal is to read 30 volumes in 30 days, but the real motivating factor behind it is just to read more manga than you usually do. And for me right now, that would be 1 volume of manga, so that would be a success. I tried to do this in the round back in April and failed, so clearly if I can actually read this one, that would be good. That would be better than I've been doing. Progress, winning, all of the things. So just kind of can't believe that it's been a year since I last read a volume of this, so I'm excited to get to it. Hi guys, it's September 1st. I have just done all of my journaling stuff and I have lost so many subscribers this year. I am back to the number I was at the end of January, so it's been a bit depressing doing the end of the month, beginning of the month journal stuff. So I'm kind of thinking this spread might be going away for next year, because this is the only time that I'm looking at those numbers, is this first of the month doing my journal thing, and it sucks. It does not feel good at all. So I might not do that for 2026. I've never had a year this bad growth wise, but can confirm it does not feel good. Obviously, if you're watching this, it's not your fault. But yeah, so I did that. So we're gonna try and get out of that little funk. Don't wanna think about that anymore. I need to read so desperately. It is so bad out here. My reading, I have barely read the last few weeks, and I was doing so good. I had gotten my momentum really rolling, and then just screeching halt. But today was not all bad. I've actually been coloring a ton, which since I haven't been reading. So that's been really fun. And then my sister and I went to TJ Maxx today, and that was awesome. It was just the two of us, kid-free, husband-free time together. She's my favorite person in the entire world, so that was awesome. And I have a little haul. So I got these two rings, one gold, one silver. Ooh la la. Why is my hand like that? Ooh la la. She sounds hideous. I got this shirt, which is very soft. Ooh la la. Pajama chic. I got these pants, which are probably my favorite thing because I really like the fit. Very comfortable. I'm like so into cargo pants right now. It's disturbing. And of course I had to get a candle. This one has a apple scent, which is perfect because this apple one has probably one burn left. Probably not even one good burn, but probably one burn left. So I'll be finishing this up, and this is a slightly different apple scent, so it's just enough of a change. I really need to decorate for Halloween, like in fall, really badly, but we'll see. We've got stuff going on with sewage in our basement again, even though they like replaced like all of the pipes last year, and it should not be a problem. So really frustrated about that. We had gotten the new washer the day that the sewage started backing up, so laundry is like so bad. I've been washing like some things on my mom's. I was able to run like one load without it backing up. It's just a debacle. I do laundry every single day, and it's been like a week and a half since I've been able to do laundry without any issues. So I'm not sure that decorating for fall should really be my priority, but like I really want it to be. You know, I really want to do that. I need to clean so much. I need to get to the attic, which I need to do on one of these cooler days. So I don't know what this week will bring, but I really hope it brings reading. That's our priority number one. Enough about me. What's new with you? Hi, it's my kid's first day of school. I have the house to myself for the first time in months, basically. I'm so excited. So basically my plan is to clean for the next 3 hours or so and then film my August wrap up, and I plan on bringing you along with me. So the water situation is still a thing, so I do have to be cautious about water usage, but there's plenty to do around this house that does not involve water. So we're gonna tackle everything that we can in that time because it desperately needs it. Last night, I did end up reading They Called Us Enemy, and this is the autobiographical retelling by George Takei of his time in the Japanese internment camps during World War II and his recollections and understanding of it through a child's memories and the things that he didn't really process or realize were happening, and then some of his parents' perspective, and then he was actually able to talk to his dad about it quite a bit as a teenager and young man. His dad was very communicative with him about the experience and the choices made and the options that they had available to them and what it was like. And this is obviously 5 stars. It's a really fantastic graphic novel. I think that it is a very, very good option to show kids about this part of US history. I remember as a child when I found out that there were Japanese internment camps on US soil, and I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. My grandpa was a World War II vet. He lived with us from the time that I was 8, and he watched a lot of World War II documentary style things on the History Channel. We watched so much, and I felt like I knew a lot about it, right? And I had not the slightest clue not the slightest clue that the US government had done that, or that the racist sentiments that the population had created that environment. Like, I simply hadn't heard about it, and I was shocked that I hadn't heard about it. I was even more shocked that that was something that we did. Now, as an adult, obviously the United States being racist is not shocking information to me, but I've put off reading this because I knew that, you know, it was going to make me sad. It was not going to be pleasant, and I was going to feel, you know, angry and helpless and just wish that things were better. And I did feel all of those things, but like I said, because it is from a child's perspective in a lot of ways, and then an adult's reflection on what that was like to experience as a child, and because it's a graphic novel, it's a really appropriate and excellent way to show kids. And not only that, but, you know, we're not trying to traumatize children that have not been traumatized simply because other people are traumatized. But it always is worth stating that if these things can happen to children, then other children should also be able to be told about them, right? I do think that there is a certain correlation there, that if we can lock up babies and 4-year-olds and 7-year-olds, 9-year-olds and 12-year-olds, then we can also explain to them that there are children who are locked up because of their race, because of the sentiments against them. Obviously, it's sad that it feels like in so many ways we're right back there, but it's also inspiring to see the people that fought for their rights and for the rights of other people. Some of them lived to see the fruition of their labors and some did not, but that fight was worthwhile for all of them. And it's just a good reminder of that. And I'm really glad that I read it, and I definitely want my kids to read it as well. So pivoting from that, I'm really excited to get a lot done in my house, to continue listening to Man's Best Friend by Sabrina Carpenter. This is an album that I think really benefits from listening to more than once. It's absolutely one that I think you will enjoy more and more the more you listen to it. That's certainly been the case for me. My favorite song right now is When Did You Get Hot? And it's just stuck in my head constantly. But so many of the songs on the album, I'm finding a different one stuck in my head at different points. And it's just really good. I think it's worth listening to more than once, for sure. I think the first time might seem slightly underwhelming, but I found that I have really enjoyed it more and more as I continue to listen. So that's my thoughts on that. And since I did read yesterday on the first day of September, we're going to continue the attempt to read every day in September. Trump's live is late. I'm supposed to be finding out he's dead. I'm waiting. But anyways, I got the stickers and washi that I have been waiting on. I was hoping it would be here before my September spread, but it was not. Got the mushrooms. Of course I needed that. I got this, which is so me. This is not the right one. What the frick? No. Boo. Hiss tomato. And they're in Europe. I'm not going to be able to get this packaging in. This is supposed to be ghosts. I'm fine. Everything is fine. Okay. Here we have some ghosts. Yeah, I know this shop said they can't ship to the US until it is resolved. These are cute. These are cute stickers. I've got these, which are like mushroom themed. Little freebie. Got these girls in green. And I was really looking forward to that ghost washi too. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh well, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? These are gonna be fun to use. And then stickers. I'm gonna have to blow out this candle and take my makeup off because something is giving me a headache. Little freebie sample. Little freebie. Little freebie. I hate sunflowers. Freebie. 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 There's a lot of freebies on this. Freebie. No ghost though. All right. These, super cute. These, which are smaller than I thought, but that's okay. This, and this, these. Because it's Christmas. Psh, 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 psh. This, I think, is going to look really, really cool on a spread, as well as this one. Mushrooms and mushrooms. Stunning. Am I genuinely very upset that this is not the ghost? Yes. Yes, I am. You know what could fix it? Trump dying. Not my best look, but it's been worse. Yesterday was a pretty bad day, so I did some retail therapy. And I got these little mushroom bud vases at Aldi. I had actually seen these in somebody's house, but the like pastel ones that are on Amazon. And she had like a sunroom where she had plants thriving, so living my dream, which we all know is not my reality. And so I can't buy stuff to try and make that my reality because I know that's not it. But she had these little pastel mushrooms. I was like, I love those. Those are so cute. Obviously, me and mushrooms right now, we're like this. But I looked on Amazon actually, and I didn't see anything but the pastel. And I was kind of like, oh, well, I'd rather have kind of moody, darker earth tone colors. And then I saw these at Aldi. And then I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw these at Aldi last year or the year before too, but couldn't like see the vision. I'm really excited about these. And if you also wanted to hit up Aldi while it's their temporary seasonal item, can get it. Also, my water did get fixed. Yay! So I could run my dishwasher. Yay! And my washer. Yay! Clean the whole basement. It no longer smells like sewage. Life is good again. Drinking out my favorite mug. I also got restocks of the moisturizer that I like and the leave-in conditioner that I've been using for me and my daughter. I also got these green throw pillows to replace the aqua ones I always use. So I always use on my bed, have for years. This was a 2-pack from Walmart years ago. You can see they're a little bit flatter, but still perfectly serviceable. And this is a new 2-pack from Walmart in the green, which I thought would go with kind of the direction a lot of my bedding sets go now. And I had planned on getting a darker green 2-pack at TJ Maxx with my sister, and it was like $25, and she was like, you can probably find something better unless like you really love these ones. And I was like, no, I just want green, I think. But now that I got this, I have been thinking about it, and a lot of my green bedding, whether it's like my Christmas pillow or my blanket or what have you, like the green pieces that I have are dark green, so I think it will work better to have a lighter green shade. That way it's not all mismatched dark greens, you know what I'm saying? I think I forgot to bring up my pumpkin pillow. No, curses! Well, I got this pumpkin pillow also. It's really cute. I wanted it to go on my bed, and my daughter wants it to go on the couch, so we'll see which one of us wins. I also did get my hair recut, and I do like it quite a bit better. You know, already had to work with what we had, but one of the things that was like going wrong yesterday was I washed my hair and then I was combing it for the haircut. So I start brushing my hair. First of all, like all the skin on my scalp starts peeling. I'm pretty sure it was sunburned and was like peeling. I was like, are you kidding? Like, now. So there was that. And then I was brushing it, and like a whole bunch of blonde hair came out back here, and I'm pretty sure one of the highlights in the back like got fried, and like my hair was just like breaking off. I don't know where, but I'm pretty sure because it was a weird amount of just blonde hair. So I'm like, really? So that's great. That's fun. Love this for me. Like I said, yesterday was kind of a bad day. That was one of the many straws. My power went out. We had the whole sewage situation. It's just little things, but I was like hanging on by a thread. Oh, I also got these ghosts at Dollar Tree. They were $1.50 a piece, and then the arms are like a wire that is bendable so you can pose them and stuff. Perfect. That was another thing I almost bought at TJ Maxx, was more expensive ghosts, because I was like, I really want ghosts in the decor. I definitely do, because I've been into it for like 3 years now. And yeah, Dollar Tree, $1.50. Am I still quite salty about the fact that Dollar Tree is no longer $1? Well, yes, I am. As a matter of fact, this is one of the first times I've been back. But $1.50 was not bad. It was not bad for those. Oh, also, let's go over here to my desk and I'll talk to you about the book I read. Turn around. Lo and behold, the pumpkin I couldn't find that I thought I brought up. This was also at Aldi. So it was a smaller one and it was $10. So yes, please. Perfection. So cute. I've held out because I don't want it to be like so on trend. But $10 yesterday when I was looking for retail therapy, while instead grocery shopping for my family, yeah, it got me. Got me good. Welcome back over here. We're going to light the new candle. Very exciting times. I'm glad you get to be here for this. So I read dun, 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 Nina the Starry Bride, Volume 10. Woo, woo, woo. Can't believe it's been over a year since I read this series. Literally just kind of mind-boggling to me. I know all the factors that work together to make this happen, but still bizarre to me. I'm so glad I picked it back up. It was great. I loved it. 5 stars. Amazing perfection. It was, yeah. I really love the series. So we have a peasant girl who looks just like the princess. The princess is also a priestess of the star people, and it's like her blue eyes that are a signifier of the star people. And she dies in a tragic accident, so they grab this peasant girl and use her as a double for the princess, right? And she has love affairs. She's also set in marriage to another kingdom and has love affairs over there. There's a love triangle happening between princes from different kingdoms. Everything is amazing, incredible. Love it. She's like very sweet, very naive. You know, everybody loves her. She's constantly stumbling her way into the hearts of the people. So I feel like in that sense, she could definitely annoy me, but she doesn't really. She really doesn't. We're following like the political shenanigans of all these kingdoms, all these different princes and different factions and all of this stuff, right? So I love it. This one, we did get a kiss. 10 volumes in, we got a kiss. And yeah, some fun reveals. It's just a really good fantasy romance manga. Like I meant, it's been a while since I talked about this, so let me bring it up again. Izzy had gifted me volumes 1 and 2 physically for my birthday last year. And I read them and loved them. Absolutely love them, and yeah, here we are. This is definitely one of my favorite manga series, so really happy to be back with it. Izzy has all the way through volume 15 on her Kindle now, so you know, I might need to get my act together and read a few more volumes for 30 and 30 this month. That's what I'm thinking. It was so good. I was a little bit worried because it has been like a year since I read the first 9 volumes, that I would struggle to figure out what we were doing and who, what, where, when, all that stuff, but I didn't. It was not a bad volume to jump back in on, and I'm really excited about that because I've missed it. And as I was reading it, I was like, oh, I've missed this. I've missed this. Again, like I know why it took me so long to get back to it, but I'm really glad that I did. I'm glad this vlog had me do it. I've been busy adulting and I am exhausted. I think I'm gonna lay in bed and read. I haven't read in days, so I'm going to hopefully do that. But I got more stickers and washi tapes from Taylor Ryan Design. I got the Moon Girls as the washi tape because I really love the stickers and I don't want them to be done. I also got this stunning witchy, leafy, bookish washi. And then, what else did I get? I got scissor freebie stickers. Cute. Got these fall freebie stickers. Cute. And then I ordered ghosts. And I ordered more ghosts. And I love this. How cute. And I ordered witches. I'm definitely going to use these in October and love the night. So I'm really super duper excited. It's been like 2 weeks since I read a book for this vlog. And I started Trial of the Sun Queen last night and am currently about 60% through and plan on sitting and finishing it before I do all my cleaning and stuff for the day. You know, she's a prisoner. It's obvious. Like, I know what some of these reveals are going to be, right? But she was a prisoner. She gets taken and put in these Sun Queen trials where a lot of the girls die, yada yada. She's the underdog. People are bullying her. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't have any allies. She doesn't have any power, yada yada yada. I'm pretty tired of this setup. I'm not gonna lie. But I was talking Robin on paperbacks and planners and from watching other people's videos and stuff too. I know that this setup kind of definitely evolves by book 2. I know that this is the weakest of the books and that things are just really going to progress from here. So I feel like I'm already through all of the most annoying parts of the series for me. Fingers crossed. But I'm not hating it. It's just, why does every main character in a fantasy book have to be the underdog from the poor side of town who's never had anything but has secret powers and has secret blah blah? Like, I'm really over it. Hi party peoples. I finished the book. I read The Trial of the Sun Queen and I'm giving it 3 stars. I didn't love it. I think a big part of it is I definitely saw all of the reveals coming from a mile away. I don't know how much of that is like having slightly been spoiled for this series here, there, everywhere. Also, if you read the synopses of any of the future books, you definitely spoil yourself. I did that in the past for this series. So I'm not 100% sure how much was like I knew to look for, but honestly, I think it was pretty blatant either way, which is not the end of the world, but the reveals didn't really make it for me other than I liked that we were going in that direction, I guess, but I wasn't surprised by that direction. And like I said earlier, I'm just kind of really over the girl who is from the oppressed class and doesn't have the training, doesn't have the allies, doesn't have the power, has malnutrition, you know, is just surviving against all odds. I would like some odds in my character's favor, actually. So like, I'm just kind of over that. I'm definitely not into trials anymore. Although the trials weren't like overly the point of the book, I feel like. I don't feel like they were that bad. But, and then it's also like every single trial, everyone's mean to her, but oh, also she's going to risk her own neck to go save other tributes' lives. And it's just like, ugh. I don't know, it's just the same thing every time. I'm really over it. But that being said, there's not more trials in the next books or anything like that, so we're proceeding from here. Things I did really like is this is dual POV, and that was very necessary because the guy we're following is in a completely different kingdom and kind of, you know, doing different things. So when they cross paths, it's not out of nowhere that they're crossing paths, and you also kind of know how to feel about him because you've been following both of them. I feel like that was really necessary and really well done in this book. I also really did like kind of the pacing of this. This book is 400 pages. It wasn't too long. I feel like once I had the first 30% done or so, I was fairly invested. But at the same time, I was putting this book down consistently. So yeah, a 3-star feels good. I do think I'm gonna give the next book a try because I hear it gets better. And honestly, I would like to not just start fantasy series and constantly be reading like the start. I'd like to advance and make progress in them and see if I like those books more. And I've already got the first one done. So I kind of think I'm going to try book 2, but that's more based on reputation, recommendation, all of that, than this book itself. So I guess that is one advantage to those books already being out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have the most to say about it, honestly. Hello, it's me, because I look so dumb right now. It's currently the 22nd of September. You're supposed to see this in like 3 days. I have read 5 books this month, and 3 of them are in this vlog. So, yeah, it's not going the best that it could possibly go. Woo. No, for real though, it's, I don't even know. I don't even know. It's been a bit of a rough month. It's been a weird month for sure. A lot going on, but all right, party peoples, this morning I finished Dizzy, which is Stillbones Motorcycle Club number 0.6 by Kate C. Wells. So this is a prequel novella, is one of 2. First of all, I gave it 5 stars. This series, I gave the prequels and book 1 5 stars. The books in the middle of the series are my least favorite Kate C. Wells books. And then from 4 on is 5 stars again. So 4, 4.5, 5, 6, all 5 stars. So that just kind of gives you my personal opinion on the series. Lots of 5 stars. The middle is not as enjoyable for me. And that's because of amount of romance on page and content warnings. Those have some pretty difficult things in them. The things that I really like about this series is that it is not the relationship that is the dark part, right? It's trauma, it's past, it's things like that. But the motorcycle club is not a huge obstacle either. And the men are not huge obstacles in and of themselves. They worship the ground that these women walk on, as they should, and honestly, it's all Kate C. Wells heroes do. She writes obsessed heroes who will do literally anything for the girl of their dreams, and I like that the girl of their dreams are just completely average, normal women. They're not bombshells. They're just regular girls, and I just absolutely love it. So this one is the prequel about Fei Li, and I think this is actually a great place to start the series. Book 1 is pretty heavy because we have a single mom who's a single mom because of rape as a teenager, so be obviously very aware of that. But this one is not that dark. Her family is neglectful. They have too many kids. They have too many nieces and nephews. And she has a incident where she's locked in somewhere by accident and no one even notices that she's gone and she almost dies. And so now, she's very claustrophobic and particularly worried about locked doors. She has run away. She is only 18. This is an age gap romance. She has run away, has been hitchhiking, ends up at the motorcycle club, and unbeknownst to her, the guy that brought her there was trying to infiltrate and he gets whacked. So she thinks he ditched her, but really he was killed. Not that he was a good guy or anything. And so she has no cell phone, no money, no nothing. and has been like sneaking food from the motorcycle club for the last week or so. And she ends up running into Dizzy and they have a little thing. And then eventually she's going to end up going home with him. And he's obsessed with her as always. And they are really into spanking. Neither one of them have really partook of that before, but they're really into spanking. So that's kind of the kink of the story. And Faylee is just sweet and likable, and I just like her. And it's their love story while the club tries to figure out if Faylee was in on the infiltration shenanigans. So I'm really happy to have finally read this one. I've completed Steel Bones Motorcycle Club officially. It's a really good motorcycle club series. Like I said, some of the content warnings are pretty heavy, and that is all, I believe, in the characters' backstories, but they're nonetheless. My recommendation is always to start with Run Posey Run or The Tyrant Alpha's Rejected Mate with Kate C. Wells, but I went into Steel Bones Motorcycle Club very quickly after Run Posey Run and really loved it. So I don't read nearly as much motorcycle club romance as I used to, but Kate C. Wells, I'll read anything that she writes, and that is just a fact. She has a lot of Kickstarter and secret projects and group projects with other authors coming out right now. She's in the After the End one. She's been announced for the Bluebeard one. She's got another one that will be announced next week. So I'm not sure when I can get my hands on her next releases, but I'm very excited for everything that she's doing. Yeah, she's just one of my very favorite authors, so this really shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone that I gave this book 5 stars. So on January 1st, I had 61 books on my TBR. This is not including holiday books because I put holiday books on my separate holiday TBR. I either read them during the holidays that year or delete them. They don't roll over from year to year, but obviously you get a lot of holiday recs at the holidays, so I don't count that TBR. But no, it won't be rolling into 2026. It will be read in the holidays or deleted or DNF'd. Of the 61 books on my TBR, I deleted 14 of them without picking them up. I then put 2 of those back on my TBR. I did DNF both of them, although one is still currently on my TBR because I feel like it was slump and schedule far more than the book itself. So it's still on my TBR, but it doesn't count because, again, it hasn't just been sitting untouched on my TBR since 2024. I DNF'd 19 of the books, which means that I read 26 of the books that were on my TBR. Of those 26, 1 got 1 star, 1 got 2 stars, 5 got 3 stars, 5 got 4 stars, and 14 got 5 stars. So not a bad ratio at all. Of the books that I actually read, half of them, more than half, got 5 stars. That is obviously only made possible though by the amount that I DNF'd, which is higher than my 5 stars. So it's not that my ratings are that skewed, it's that if I end up finishing the book, you have a much better chance of having a higher rating than not. My 61 book pre-2025 TBR is completed, but right now, which is September 24th, I should be posting this tomorrow, hopefully. Currently, my TBR is sitting at 82 books. This is not a big deal, obviously, but it is not surprising that right now it would be a little bit higher than it would be at the end of the year. I tend to almost always have a pretty good culling of the TBR before I make the spread, before I roll them over to the next year. And I finished this in September, whereas usually I'm doing this vlog in November, so honestly, wins all around. I would love to hear what you do for your TBRs. Do you keep track of things by year at all? For me, if I'm going to be interested in it after a year or two, it's going to be because it came back around and re-piqued my interest, basically. So there's no reason to me for it to sit stale on the TBR. So that's kind of my thoughts behind it. Is not that I need to hit a certain number or anything. I don't own these books. This is just my general TBR. No wasted money or anything. It's just what I'm interested in and how overwhelmed I get by my TBR. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.